What is going on in Dallas? Ezekiel Elliott is only averaging 3.6 yards a carry this year, which seems hard to believe since his offensive line has been crowned king of the trenches for 3 or 4 years running. Time to go behind the O-line to see why the vaunted Cowboys run game has been misfiring so often this season. Elliott has gone 3 straight games without breaking the 100-yard barrier. There, of course, was his 9-carry, 8-yard performance against the Broncos.
Here is Ezekiel Elliott. Nothing.
Followed by a 3.6 yard per carry day against the Cardinals.
Not at Ohio State and not as a Dallas Cowboy has he been rejected like he has in his last 9 runs.
And then this past week against the Rams, he only picked up 85 yards on the ground, though to be fair, he did average 4 yards a carry, so it wasn't a terrible afternoon for the second year back. But let's break down 5 specific runs that highlight what may be the problem with Dallas's ground game. Run number 1. Elliott takes the pitch going to his right and ends up with a short gain. Now let's watch it back again. You see a Rams defender dive in low, but right tackle La'el Collins goes to the floor with him, and in doing so, he disrupts the timing of the play, not only getting in the way of Elliott, but more importantly, getting in the way of Zach Martin, who was pulling, and then is unable to block Alec Ogletree, who makes the tackle. Run number 2, a handoff. This time to the left, and Elliott actually picks up 5 yards. But this is a case of what could have been. Watch left guard Jonathan Cooper. After initially helping center Travis Frederick, he releases, but more or less whiffs on Ogletree at the second level, and at that moment, there isn't another unblocked Rams defender near Elliott within 10 yards. He falls forward with Ogletree for the 5-yard gain, but Cooper's whiff was the difference between a 5-yard gain and a potential touchdown. Number 3 comes at the goal line. You can chalk this one up to Aaron Donald being an otherworldly defensive tackle, but when you slow it down, watch the Rams' D-line and Dallas's O-line at the moment of the snap. Everyone is up, save Cooper, who was slow out of his stance. That's a no-no, no matter who you're trying to block, but especially against Aaron Donald. It makes sense then that 2 plays later they run away from Donald. At first it appeared Elliott's dive to the pylon was a success.
Ezekiel Elliott for the pylon. Touchdown Cowboys.
But the review showed he was down at the half-yard mark. More importantly, Elliott should never have needed to go so wide, but an off-balance Collins gets beat by Michael Brockers, who forces Elliott to bounce the run instead of taking it up the middle. And for our final example, a handoff to the left that goes nowhere. This is a simple case of a defender beating his blocker. Brockers breaks through again and again. It's against Collins. Now, this is not to say that Elliott hasn't been at fault this season. There are clearly times he appears to be trying to do too much instead of simply taking what's there. We also noticed multiple cases in the Rams game where tight end James Hanna missed his assignments. So Elliott's struggles on the ground are multi-layered, but it does appear there may be issues with Collins and Cooper that outweigh the other problems. Even on several plays where Collins takes care of his defender, he ends up on the ground, which is not where your linemen are supposed to be. And the examples that we showed fit Pro Football Focus's opinion of the 2 linemen. Right now, Cooper is ranked as the 3rd worst guard and Collins as the 6th worst tackle. It shows last year's starters, Doug Free and Ronald Leary, Free now retired, Leary now playing for the Broncos, may have been more important to Dallas's ground game success than many people realized.